Hey ladies, it's Jack, and today on Menopause Like a Boss, I thought I should probably tell you why the hell I'm even talking about menopause week after week after week. It's not exactly a topic that most people get passionate about, but I am passionate about it. When I started going through menopause, I didn't really feel like I had anyone to talk to. My mom had been postmenopausal for so long, she could barely remember her experience with it. And quite frankly, women just don't like to talk about it. My doctor has been pretty vague with the info that I get, and it's basically, take your vitamins, blah, blah, blah. But there's got to be more help than that out there, and that's why I started the channel. The reality is, it started for me at a party a few years ago, at a girls' night, when women were sitting around drinking wine and talking about their periods. When it occurred to me I hadn't had my period for quite some time. Now, if you ask my husband, he would tell you that if I was pregnant, I'd be on the cover of Newsweek, because we also hadn't had sex for a long time, because my sex drive had gone AWOL, something else that secretly just went away without me barely noticing. So after peeing on like three $15 EPT tests and realizing that no, I'm not pregnant, the other possibility was menopause, and sure enough, I was menopausal. So I went through my perimenopause for probably a year and a half, 2 years, which was a bit of a break, thanks Mother Nature, because I have a feeling I'm going to go through the postmenopausal symptoms for a very long time. One of the biggest things was memory loss, and it really occurred to me about 1 or 2 summers ago in June when I read Girl on a Train, which was a great book, great twist at the end. And then the movie came out months later, and I was sitting through the movie, and it occurred to me I had no idea how this movie was going to end. So the bright side of that is I can go see movies every 6 months, and it's like a brand new blockbuster to me. Same with the books I read. Once I started talking to women about menopause, they kind of like scattered, like rats on a deck. They were like, nope, don't want to talk about it. That is not a hot flash I'm having. I just happen to be sweating outside in the freezing cold. But then one day I went to pick up my daughter from a play date, and it was the middle of winter, and I walked in, and all these women, like mom friends, were sitting around talking, and I took my coat off, and I was wearing a tank top, and they were all aghast. Like, it was like freezing cold out, and I was wearing a tank top, and I was like, hey, it's Florida in here. And then I noticed that they were all really curious, and slowly, and with some champagne, the conversation started to open up about what some of the symptoms were. And they started to ask me, because they were going through it on their own, but they weren't talking to each other about it. So when I was so open about it, they started to talk about it. What does a hot flash feel like? What does it mean when you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't go back to sleep? Is that a symptom? Is that just like me being stressed out? And we had a really great conversation. And so I want to have that conversation with you too. There should not be a stigma against menopause. It's something our body goes through. And if you're lucky, your body's going to go through it too, because it means you've lived a full life and you're on to the next phase. It's not a bad thing. It is a new thing. So I hope that you'll chime in. I hope you'll like and subscribe and leave your comments. Let me know I'm not alone, because I can be very lonely behind the camera. And sometimes when I'm coming up with these topics to talk to you about, I'm not sure if they're my own personal experience and no one's going through it, or whether these are pretty common things that women around me are experiencing too. This isn't a topic we should be ashamed of. This should be something that we collaborate on. So I hope to see you week after week. I hope to read your comments, and I hope to get great video ideas, and I'm happy to share what I'm going through too.